This is the true story of an old man named Jerry Selby, a brilliant mathematician whose talent went unnoticed for most of his life. After retiring, Jerry discovers a mathematical loophole in the lottery, one that allows him to win money almost every time he plays. The story begins with Jerry, a quiet and humble man who has spent decades working at a company that makes cornflakes. Despite his simple job, he has an extraordinary mind, the kind that can solve complex equations in seconds. Eventually, the day of his retirement arrives. That evening, his son and daughter surprise him with a thoughtful gift, a small boat, so he can spend his free time fishing and relaxing. But soon after, Jerry starts to feel restless. He's a man who has always loved working, thinking, and keeping his mind sharp. Now, with nothing to challenge him, life begins to feel empty. One day, Jerry visits his accountant to talk about what he should do with his savings. The accountant advises him, keeping your money in the bank only gives you a 2% return. You should invest in the stock market. The returns are much better. Jerry instantly runs the numbers in his head and replies, "No, that's too risky. The probability of losing money is high. I can't put my retirement savings at that kind of risk." A few days later, Jerry stops by a local convenience store for a cup of coffee. That same store also sells lottery tickets. While he's sitting there, he overhears the store owner talking to a young woman. The owner explains, when nobody wins the jackpot, when no one matches all 6 numbers, the $2 million from that jackpot roll down. That means the prize money gets split among players who match 5, 4, or even 3 numbers. Jerry listens closely. That one phrase, roll down, sticks in his mind. Later, he finds the official lottery rules and starts analyzing them with mathematical precision. After running several calculations, he realizes something incredible. There's a loophole. Under the right conditions, the expected winnings could actually be higher than the cost of the tickets. Excited, he rushes back to his accountant and says, "I want to use my savings to buy lottery tickets." The accountant is shocked. "Wait, you're the same guy who said the stock market was too risky, and now you want to gamble on the lottery?" Jerry smiles and explains his logic. The chance of matching 3 numbers out of 6 is 1 in 54. The chance of matching 4 numbers is 1 in 1,500. If I buy $2,000 worth of tickets when the jackpot rolls down, probability guarantees that I'll get at least 1 ticket with 4 matches. That's $1,000. And about 36 tickets with 3 matches, each worth $50. That's another $1,800. In total, I'll earn $2,800 from a $2,000 investment. That's an $800 profit. It's not luck, it's math. The accountant is skeptical, but Jerry is confident. So he invests $2,000 in lottery tickets. But when the draw results come in, he ends up losing $372. Disappointed, Jerry begins to doubt himself. A few days later, after double-checking his calculations, Jerry realizes his mistake. His sample size was too small. He simply hadn't bought enough tickets for the probabilities to work in his favor. So, the following month, he decides to go bigger. This time, he invests $8,000, nearly all of his remaining retirement savings, into lottery tickets. When the results are announced, Jerry sits in the same store, carefully calculating his winnings. After running the numbers for what feels like hours, he's stunned. His total profit comes to $15,700. Jerry takes the cash home and hides it inside a popcorn tin, not wanting his wife to find out. But soon enough, she discovers it and confronts him. Jerry admits, "I've found a loophole in the lottery, and that's where this money came from." Instead of getting angry, his wife is amazed. Rather than stop him, she decides to join him in his unusual new venture. After proving that the loophole truly works, Jerry and his wife decide to try again the next month. They drive to the same store where he'd bought the tickets before. But when they arrive, they're shocked to see the lottery machine gone. The store clerk explains, "The state stopped selling that lottery game. If you want those tickets, you'll have to go to another state." Without hesitation, Jerry and his wife hop in the car and drive across the state line. After searching for a while, they finally find a small convenience store that still sells tickets for the windfall lottery. They meet the store owner and tell him, "We'd like to buy $16,000 worth of lottery tickets." The owner looks at them in disbelief. "That many tickets will take me at least 8 hours to print. I've got other customers too. If you really want them, you'll have to print them yourselves." So Jerry and his wife roll up their sleeves. For the next 8 hours, they sit beside the machine, printing thousands of tickets, one after another. That night, they check into a nearby motel, surrounded by stacks of tickets, and watch the lottery draw on TV. The next morning, they carefully check each ticket. After crunching the numbers, they realize they've made a $21,000 profit on their $16,000 investment. They're thrilled. Their system works flawlessly. As they drive back home, Jerry's wife turns to him and asks, "Do you think we're the only ones who found this loophole?" Jerry doesn't respond right away. He just smiles, lost in thought. At this point, the story shifts to Harvard University, where a bright but ambitious student named Tyler is working late in his dorm room. He's analyzing lottery patterns and has just discovered the exact same loophole Jerry found. Excited, he tells his friends, "We need to pool as much money as we can. There's a guaranteed way to win. A real mathematical edge. We could make more in 1 month than we'd earn in years of regular jobs." Meanwhile, back in Jerry's hometown one evening, Marge reminds him, "When we first moved here, you said you wanted to do something for the community, to help people grow and succeed. If buying more tickets increases our odds, Why not let others invest with us too? That way, they can profit as well. Jerry thinks for a moment, then smiles. He loves the idea. The next day, he visits his accountant and says, "Let's form a corporation. People from town can invest their money and we'll share the profits based on how much each person contributes." Soon, Jerry establishes a small company. Many locals, friends, neighbors, and even his accountant decide to join in. They all trust him completely. With everyone's combined funds, Jerry now has tens of thousands of dollars to invest. When the next roll-down event is announced, Jerry and his wife drive back to that same store in the neighboring state. They tell the store owner, "We'd like $40,000 worth of lottery tickets this time." The owner shakes his head in disbelief. "That'll take all day and night to print. I can't keep my store open that long." Jerry smiles and replies, "Then why don't you join us as a partner?" He tells the owner about his corporation, GS Investment Strategy. "Invest with us," he says, "and you'll share in the profits." The store owner thinks for a moment, then agrees. Together, they spend the entire day and night printing thousands upon thousands of tickets. When the draw results are announced, they hit big once again. The store owner is amazed. He's never seen anything like it. For the next several months, Jerry, his wife, and their small-town corporation keep doing the same thing. Every time there's a roll-down, they travel to the other state, print mountains of tickets, and win again and again. Meanwhile, back at Harvard, Tyler and his group are also cashing in. In their very first roll-down, they make a $50,000 profit. Since they come from wealthy families, they're able to invest even more money each time, multiplying their winnings dramatically. Then, one of Tyler's hacker friends uncovers something interesting. He says, "There's someone else out there doing the same thing, an old man in Michigan, and he's made way more money than us." Tyler narrows his eyes. "How do you know that?" The hacker smirks. "I hacked into the windfall lottery system. The data shows massive batches of tickets being sold from a single store, the same one, over and over again. That's how I know." Tyler realizes that printing that many tickets must take at least 2 or 3 days, which means whoever's behind it has to be there in person. So, he and his friend decide to drive out there and see who it is. When they arrive, Jerry and his wife just happen to be at the store, celebrating their wedding anniversary after another successful draw. Tyler walks straight up to them and says, "I know you know about the lottery loophole. I want you to invest with us. Together, we can control the entire game, and you'll still get your share of the profits." Jerry looks at him calmly and replies, "I'm not interested. I'm not doing this just for money." Tyler frowns, confused. Jerry continues, "I do this because I love the work. It keeps my mind sharp. And more importantly, I do it for my town, for the people who believed in me." He even offers Tyler and his group a chance to join him, but they refuse. Frustrated and insulted, Tyler storms out of the store with his friend. Meanwhile, at a local newspaper office, an editor tells one of his reporters, "I want you to dig into the lottery story. There's a man in Michigan who's made millions buying tickets. Find out who he is and how he's doing it." The reporter begins her investigation. Back in Jerry's town, life is changing. Thanks to the company he started, neighbors are paying off debts, small businesses are expanding, and a quiet pride has spread through the community. Jerry has given people more than money. He's given them hope and purpose. At the same time, the reporter visits the state lottery headquarters and meets the CEO. She confronts him. "There's a man in Michigan who seems to be winning millions." The CEO listens, then shrugs. "This is a lottery. People are supposed to win." But beneath that calm, trouble is already brewing. One day in a coffee shop, Tyler finds Jerry again. He leans in and issues a cold warning. "You can either invest with us or get out of the lottery for good. If you try to play again, I'll hack your partner's bank accounts and credit cards. I'll drain everything you have. My friends and I study at Harvard. If we could break into the lottery company, getting into your banks will be easy." Jerry is shaken. For the first time, he feels real fear, not for himself, but for the people who trusted him. He calls a meeting with everyone in the corporation and tells them quietly, "I'm afraid we won't be able to play anymore. The lottery has changed. It's no longer profitable for us." He keeps Tyler's threat to himself. The group looks disappointed, but they trust Jerry and agree to stop. After the meeting, Jerry walks out heavy-hearted, but one of his partners tells Jerry's son the truth. A Harvard student named Tyler had threatened his father. The son listens, angry and hurt. He seeks Jerry out and says, blunt and proud, "Dad, all your life people doubted you. They never believed in what you could do. But look at what you've done. You made this whole town believe in itself. Are you really going to back down because of one arrogant college kid?" Jerry stays quiet as his son continues. "You always said you don't work for money. You work because solving problems keeps you alive. Don't stop now." Those words light something inside Jerry again. He decides he won't walk away. Meanwhile, Tyler and his team assume Jerry has folded. They start printing tickets from different locations across the city, buying huge batches. But then Tyler's friend tells him Jerry is still active. He's buying lots of tickets too. Tyler grows furious. More tickets in the pool means smaller chances for everyone. They know the roll-down triggers when $2 million worth of tickets are sold. Using their hacked access to the lottery system, they can see exactly how many tickets are sold and when. Tyler hatches a plan. As soon as the lottery sells $1 million worth of tickets, we'll buy the remaining $1 million ourselves. We'll force the roll down early and keep the profits. But to pull it off, Tyler needs a massive bankroll. He approaches his father's wealthy friends with the scheme, lays out his investment plan, and secures the funding he needs. As soon as ticket sales hit $1 million, Tyler and his group buy up the remaining tickets, exactly as planned. When Jerry arrives to purchase his tickets, he is told, "Sorry, the roll down already happened. The quota's full." Jerry freezes. In that moment, he realizes what's happened. Tyler has used hacked lottery data to control the timing and shut him out. Determined to set things right, Jerry travels to Harvard University. He finds Tyler and his friends in their dorm room and looks at them calmly. "You think this is about money?" he says. "It's not. I never played to get rich. I played because I love the work. It gave me purpose, and it gave my friends and neighbors a chance to build better lives." Then his voice hardens. "But you're supposed to be studying. Your parents sent you here to learn, to build a future. Instead, you're wasting your time thinking about lottery numbers and scanning thousands of tickets. What will you do when the system changes and this loophole disappears? What then?" The students fall silent, ashamed. Jerry turns to leave, but his words linger long after he's gone. From there, Jerry heads straight to the Windfall Lottery headquarters. He meets with the company director and says, "Some students from Harvard have hacked your website. They know exactly how many tickets have been sold, and they're using that information to trigger early rolldowns. That's unfair to everyone else." The director listens intently as Jerry adds, "If you release ticket sales data publicly every day, then everyone will have equal access to the information, and no one can cheat the system." The officials agree. From that day forward, the lottery company begins posting ticket sales data openly on their website. When Tyler finds out, he's furious. He knows Jerry is behind it. As the next rolldown approaches, Tyler calls his friends to join him, but no one comes. Jerry's words had changed them. His honesty had awakened something inside, a conscience they didn't know they had. They all decide to return to their studies, ready to build real futures instead of chasing loopholes. Meanwhile, the reporter who's been investigating Jerry finally finishes her story. While reviewing the lottery data, she notices two names that stand out: Jerry Selby from Michigan and Tyler from Harvard. Both had earned millions from the same mathematical flaw. She first travels to meet Jerry. When she meets him in person, she's surprised. He's not the greedy gambler she expected, but a kind, humble man who used his gift to help his community. In that moment, she understands the difference between the two men. Jerry used his knowledge to uplift others, while Tyler used it to exploit the system. The next day, the newspaper publishes her article on the front page, revealing the entire story: how both Jerry and Tyler had discovered a flaw in the Windfall Lottery and turned it into a goldmine. The story spreads like wildfire. The lottery company's executives finally realize that their system has major vulnerabilities, and they immediately announce a complete redesign of the game. Days later, when Jerry and his wife return to their usual store, the owner greets them with a heavy heart. "I'm sorry, Jerry," he says. "The company's canceled all our lottery licenses. We can't sell tickets anymore." The lottery has revoked the licenses of every store where Jerry and Tyler once played. At the same time, over at Harvard, Tyler's father storms into his son's dorm room, holding the newspaper in hand. He throws it on the desk and says sharply, "You've done enough studying for now. Pack your things. You're coming home with me." Soon after the newspaper story breaks, television news channels pick it up. Anchors report, because of a flaw in the Windfall Lottery system, several people have earned massive sums of money, but the company has now decided to replace its software. Tonight's rolldown will be the final one under the old system, but this time Jerry and his wife aren't able to buy any tickets. That evening, Jerry sits quietly in his garden, lost in thought. The house is peaceful. From the doorway, his wife watches him for a moment, then turns to their daughter and says softly, "For your father, this was never about money. He loved the process, the numbers, the calculation, the challenge. Through it, he connected with people and helped them succeed. He always wanted to give something back to society, and in his own way, he did." Just then, the familiar sound of a car engine breaks the silence. A car pulls up outside. It's Jerry's accountant, the same man who once called his lottery idea crazy. Smiling, he says, "Everyone's waiting for you." Jerry follows him with his wife, and to his surprise, there's a crowd gathered. It's a celebration, a surprise party organized entirely in his honor. His son steps forward, grinning. "Dad, you didn't buy tickets this time because you thought you couldn't, but we did, all of us. We pooled our money, drove across the state, and bought tickets from every machine that was still running." Jerry's eyes widen. Then a loud rumble echoes from outside. Everyone turns to see a tractor slowly driving in, its trailer piled high, overflowing with boxes and boxes of lottery tickets. His eyes fill with tears, not from the thought of profit, but from the love and faith that surround him. For one last time, he gets to do what he loves most, sitting at a table with his wife, sorting through endless stacks of tickets, running calculations, checking numbers. As the night goes on, the community celebrates, not just their winnings, but the joy and purpose Jerry brought into their lives. Finally, the